Hello, and welcome to the Movie Supreme Court, the show that judges and gives verdicts on everything movies. I am Noah, your Chief Supreme Court Justice, and with me today we have Judge James and we have Judge Sylvia. This bench court trial is now in session. On trial today, we have the movie, The Legend of Tarzan. None of us have seen the movie, but we have seen the previews, and we've seen trailers, so we're prepared to give our opening statement. So I'll start it off. My opening statement for this movie is, I think this is a movie worth watching. I think this movie was well put together. Based on the previews, I really felt like they're not going to cheat me if I was to go see it. The way they portray Tarzan and the way they portray Jane and the villain and even the animals in the movie, it really feels like someone really took their time and actually thought it all out. And they weren't just trying to make a buck here. This was one that I felt like someone's really putting their passion on the screen, because the details in this movie are just remarkable when I saw it. I mean, I really am blown. I find myself watching this preview over and over and over again just because of the value of the value of the preview, the trailer. Like I'm looking forward to see if the movie holds up to the trailer. Because if it does, whoa. Judge James, what's your opening statement?
Lone Ranger. If people remember the Lone Ranger, I'm talking about the Johnny Depp one, the one that came out a few years ago. A lot of people thought that movie was going to, and Armie Hammer. And a lot of people thought that movie was going to do well. I think the Lone Ranger is a mega blockbuster compared to what this is. Period. Apes, kill your kid. It's a white family in the middle of the jungle. CGI bulls managed to overrun the town. And this guy, of course, the white guy, this does have something to do with race. Why is a white guy in the middle of Africa the savior of the town, the village, the woman, whatever the situation is? There's a clear undercurrent, message that they have with this. I have a problem with this movie. That's my opening statement.
Now, Judge Sylvia, what's your opening statement?
Well, I concur with Noah and disagree with James. Because I actually felt, I'm a huge fan of the original cartoon version. I'm a huge fan of the cartoon version of Tarzan. So when I saw the trailer, and I only saw one trailer, I felt the sincerity in the movie. I really did. Like Lone Ranger, that was a terrible movie. A horrible comparison to this movie. But I loved the opening scene with the tree. It looked very much, and again, I guess maybe I was in a predisposed mood because I'm a fan of the movie. But the tree was beautiful, the tree scene, when I felt the sadness with the family that died, the mother, the father, and then the connection between the gorilla and the baby. And then as he grew older, the scenes of Tarzan with the animals, it was beautiful. I loved it. I guess it was just bringing to me back memories, but now we have it. This is a human version of Tarzan. So I liked it. I didn't quite get what was going on with the villain, what that story part was, but I felt the love between Tarzan and Jane. I just felt good when I saw the trailer. I felt this is beautiful. I loved it. I felt it. So I disagree with you, Judge James.
So now we know the opinions, the statements. Now let's get into the actual arguments. And it seems like Judge James has a very interesting argument.
Yes. It's funny she mentioned how she felt. I only felt one thing when I watched the movie. The urge to do some cardio. As in, I wanted to run out I was watching this trailer in the basement, at my house on a little laptop. I wanted to run. out of the house when I saw the trailer. This trailer is absolutely horrible. I still can't get over the fact. I mean, okay, so the blonde white guy, he's the savior of the village or town or whatever. Yeah, that.
Are you sure he's saving the
My
village?
perspective is different.
Or saving his life. I mean, well, whoever he's clearly the savior or something.
He was
And
safe.
and it's funny. He apparently everything he needs to fight is dark skinned. He's a white guy. He's got to fight the dark. He's got to fight the gorillas. They're black. There's some what I believe to be some kind of Aborigine type of people or something. They're dark skinned. Apparently he's fighting them. So like, everybody dark skinned. I mean, that's the old cliche in Hollywood, which I've seen time and time again. And matter of fact, now I'm thinking about this, the guys of Egypt, weren't those white guys in Egypt? That made no logical sense anyway. And I see a direct correlation between that and this.
So it's not worth just letting go with societal issues or temperature and just go into the fantasy of the man with apes saving his wife or being reintroduced back into civilization because he was gone from civilization for so long, and then being trying to suck back into the forest,
No.
and then them trying to suck him right back.
No.
Right? You don't
I see
feel
what you're
almost like
saying.
he's like the victim in this movie, that he's so many people pulling him apart.
Oh, he's the victim.
People want him on all sides, but yet he's just trying to live. That, you don't want to go with that
Art
story.
imitates life, and apparently somebody wants life to be some kind of correlation between art and whatever this is.
Mhm.
And this to me is not art. I don't know what this is. The Lone Ranger, like I said.
Were you ever a fan of the Tarzan, the character itself, even before this movie came out? Were you ever a fan of Tarzan?
Somewhat.
So you were.
I'm saying kind of somewhat ambivalent towards him. I didn't.
Mhm.
I didn't care one way or the other. It was, if it was interesting, it was interesting. I like the Jungle Book more, which is another reason. I think this is just a remix of the Jungle Book.
Even though one is raised by apes and one is raised by wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because there's no racial connotation with wolves versus apes.
Wow. I mean, whew, that's some deep stuff right there. I understand what you're seeing. It's just I'm just choosing to just go into escapism and just wanting to see a movie of how one man versus all odds. Because to be honest, what I really see when I see this movie, or when I just hear about the Tarzan story, is that there's a human being that is raised in the jungle, but not by humans. What? I mean, that is so against all odds. Talk about against all odds. That is against all odds, being raised in a jungle and there's no humans around. And then to be reintroduced back into society, and people are supposed to expect you to do certain things that you have no idea what to do because you never was raised in those customs, and to go against society who thinks that you're wild, but you think you're normal. And then when you go back into the jungle, they think that you're weird because you don't look like them, but they're the ones that raised you. I feel like the whole world is against this one man, and he just wants to live. And there's so many expectations put on him that he doesn't deserve to have to hold up. I really feel like this is like a David and Goliath type movie. This is really him versus the world. Him versus the world. That's what I see in this movie.
I heard you saying, and I'll say this. Actually, I'll have to say, but here's what I'm going to say about that. Whatever expectations he doesn't have to worry about it for long. This movie's going to flop. So whatever expectations he's got, I've got to hold the whole world on my shoulders. Don't worry. You got to flop, and flops make whatever weight you got, it won't be that heavy because you're going to flop. If it makes past 75 million, and domestically,
Okay.
150 worldwide, I'd be surprised.
Well, what about the special effects, Judge Sylvia?
I thought the special effects were amazing, but I think that Judge James is approaching the movie with some preconceived ideas and whatnot. I totally didn't take away from the movie. For me, I took it as, whereas you see him as a savior, I see him as the one that was saved by them. I don't see him in a savior role at all. I mean, other than, of course, he's loyal to the family that raised him, which happens to be the gorillas, and so he wants to naturally protect them, preserve them, not save them, but hey, they saved me, they saved my life, this is all I know, and I love you, and you're in trouble, so I need to help you guys out. I don't see it as him saving them. I just see him just being loyal to his family, who happen to be gorillas.
And what I'm going to bank on also is that even though you say that Tarzan is fighting these Aboriginal people, my money is on that he probably does fight them. But within that fight, you're going to see a turn. And then they're going to be working with him. And it's almost going to be like us versus them. The civilized versus the people of nature.
Right.
And they're going to join in the cause. That's what I'm banking on. So that's what I think is going to happen. Now, it may not, but it may happen. I mean, and if that happens, would that change the way you feel about it?
No. Because I still put this. You're right. Maybe I do have a slightly preconceived. I don't know. We'll see. Lone Ranger, Tarzan.
Oh, no.
Now, I agree with you. Lone Ranger was the bomb of all bombs. But for you to consider that to be a blockbuster compared to this,
Yes.
like that means this movie, what? How much do you think it's going to make?
150 worldwide tops.
150
Worldwide.
worldwide.
75 domestic, another 75 worldwide.
Wow. I guess that would be a
flop.
A flop.
How much did the Lone Ranger make?
Not much more than that.
I think like 200 million, maybe 250.
Which nowadays, especially in the world global market, that's a flop.
But I think it costs like 200 something million to make
Yeah.
already. Maybe 300. My goodness.
Yeah.
You think so what you're really saying, what you're telling this audience is that The Lone Ranger is a better movie story-wise and box office-wise than the Legend of Tarzan will be.
Oh, I'm absolutely saying that. I'm 100%.
You are stamping.
I'm stamping, yeah. I'm 100% saying that.
Whoa.
You're going to be shocked. I think it's surprised.
I think you will be too.
Okay.
I think you will be too. Because I think it's going to be repeat business. I think people are going to go see this movie over and over and over again. I think
This movie?
This movie.
This?
Movie.
We're talking the same movie, right? White guy swinging with the eggs and all.
Yes.
Okay.
But did you see the way he was swinging with it? I mean, they even went to slow motion. That was beautiful.
What is another white guy swinging? So people might want to go see more. It's like Spider-Man.
Okay.
I'm saying.
So, you now have our arguments. You've heard our statements. You've heard our arguments. Now, let's get to what you really want to know. What is the verdict? So, Judge James, what is your verdict? Will you see this movie, and why?
Honestly, up until I got on the stage, I wasn't going to see this movie at all. But I'm curious only because of what y'all both said. I'm curious to see. But I'm not lying to you. I'm going to have somebody pay for it. I'm not paying. I'm not paying for it. So, ladies, I got you on the next one, but remember, I'm not paying money for this. None of my money's coming to go see it. Okay. But somehow I am going to go see it because I'm curious. I want to see if the Aboriginal or whoever these other people are. I'm curious to see if, like you said, they, I guess, fight and they have a bromance or something, decide to work together. I'm curious to see if that happens. So, answer the question, will I see it? Yes.
But someone else has to pay for it.
Pretty much.
Got it. Judge Sylvia, what is your verdict? Will you see this movie, and why?
Yes, I will see this movie. And actually, I would take my children to see this movie. We are all Tarzan fans. Maybe not my oldest daughter, but my other children. So yes, I do plan on seeing the movie, and I'm confident that we will not be disappointed. Lone Ranger, I'm still thinking about that.
So, here's my verdict. Will I see this movie? Yes. And why will I see this movie? Because I think that this movie is going to be the Tarzan movie to define Tarzan for a whole new generation. Like, I really feel like this movie is going to be one of those precious gems. Just like The Jungle Book with Jon Favreau's version of The Jungle Book. I think this is going to be a defining movie for a generation. It probably won't even need a sequel. But if it does have a sequel, woo, we may be looking at a franchise on our hands, really. I mean, I know I'm just being presumptuous, but I think we may have a franchise on our hands because what I've seen in that preview, or those multiple previews, I thoroughly enjoyed. So I think I'm going to thoroughly enjoy this movie. I cannot wait to see how this one man goes against all odds and saves the woman, saves his community, and saves this civilization. I can't wait to see this. I mean, this is like Superman raised with gorillas versus Kent and Annie Ann or Martha. Maybe the gorillas have a Martha in their midst. But those are our verdicts. So now, what do you think? Do you agree with our verdicts? Do you disagree with our verdicts? Let us know. Give us your thoughts on the feed below. And also, let us know your verdict. On behalf of all the judges, we want to thank you for taking the time to watch us. But we mostly love to see you again. And until next time, Movie Supreme Court is now adjourned.